One of the most impressive features in Assassin's Creed Shadows is without a doubt the hideout, and I was able to already play around with this full-on base building feature. Got a ton of exclusive gameplay and info, also on other topics, so lots to go over. So very early in the game you'll meet a character named Tomiko. We actually heard her in the first gameplay trailer, and you see her right here. She will help Naue in a critical moment and open her home to the League, and this becomes the hideout. So similar to Valhalla, this is a location in the world over here on the map, and you can fast travel to it or walk to it when you are close. There are 6 main buildings. The Horima is the first building you have, and from here you can walk up to a map and start customizing your whole settlement. And yes, as you might know, this means putting down buildings wherever you want, customizing the roofs, the walls. You can choose to showcase particular armor sets you collected inside these buildings. So this is similar to the armory from Valhalla, and some of the older games had this of course as well, but now many buildings in the hideout have these stations where you can put these outfits. You can even highlight weapons now in dedicated spots, which is awesome. There are planks where you can put collectibles you found while playing. I love how buildings can also connect if you place them close to each other, so they become one. You can create paths with tiles, but you can also select an area and then instantly fill the floor there. And as you might know from my hands-on preview, I also put down lanterns, shrines. A lot is possible, but YouTuber Kevduit went even crazier and checked how many lanterns you could place. Well, spoiler alert, a ton, and I don't even think that this is the max. You can only place 25 animals though, and make a cat den for all the cats to chill in. And also really cool is that when you destroy a building or alter something, you get all your resources back, so you can just freely change things without having to worry. I can't wait to see what people come up with, but there are also many gameplay benefits to spending time in your hideout. So stables are a place where you can showcase your different mounts, which is kinda cool because in Valhalla we just saw some random horses at the stable. And upgrading this building is totally worth it, although it has nothing to do with mounts. As you might know, a lot of locations in Shadows have wealth, which indicates the amount of hideout resources you can get there if you loot the place. Every season the wealth can change and locations will also refill, but good to note is that if you've been to a high wealth location and got everything, then the next season they will start at low and not immediately go back to high again. Every wealth location has a special loot room, and when you upgrade your stable, you can mark the so-called stockpiles in the loot room with your scouts. You normally need 2 of the scouts for this, but with the final upgrade of the stable, you will only need 1. Then when the season changes, you get a pop-up saying that you got new hideout resources thanks to your scouts. Another main building in your hideout is the Kakureka, and by upgrading this, you unlock more safe houses in the open world. When you get close to one, a message will pop up, and if you then go to your world map, you can unlock it with in-game money. This location now functions as a new fast travel spot, but there's so much more, like a storage box we in Odyssey would find on our ship. And also in Shadows, we can put items away here that we don't want in our inventory, but I don't think there's a limit to the amount of items you can carry like in Odyssey. I at least did not see it. But with the random loot back, you will be finding way more gear and weapons compared to Valhalla, so nice that we got a place to store it. You can also refill your supplies at the safe house. This includes arrows and also tools for Naue. If you use your scouts to find a quest objective or for those stockpiles, you can also refill them here for a bit of in-game money. And you can also accept contracts here with a small objective and then go out in the world to do them. The opportunities you see below here are, by the way, hints for points of interest close by, and this can include a legendary chest that can contain legendary gear, but also a viewpoint or something else. And in order to see these opportunities, you need to have that Kakureka settlement building at level 2. You can also select and upgrade your allies at these safe houses, and then of course summon them into combat. Now there are more buildings that I will touch on in a moment, but it's worth noting that you will also see these allies walk around in your hideout, so you can check in on them, although so far the conversations were really nothing interesting, and I will talk more about this ally system in a future video, by the way, so subscribe of course to not miss that. And real quick, if you are a subscriber and like this video, you can participate in my giveaway for 3 Assassin's Creed Odyssey copies via the link in the pinned comment. And yes, as you can see, this is also where you can meet Yasuke as Naue, or the other way around, something that is not possible in the open world for as far as I know, so fighting alongside each other is also not a thing. and when you interact with them, you can simply change to that character. But there are actually NPCs in the hideout that only have something to say to one of the protagonists. Although again, they did not say anything exciting so far, but I'm also liking the background. Like, I was of course thrown into a level 25 save without having like done any missions with these characters that will cause them to join the hideout. So I'm hoping that this social element is better than what I've seen so far. The hideout also has special themed rooms you can build, but that you cannot upgrade. They are still worth it though for their buffs. Like the Terra gives you 10% extra XP, and the Tea Room increases the effectiveness of your rations by 20%. The loadout feature is also back in Shadows, but to get it you need to buy the gallery for that to enable. And by putting down these special themed rooms, you also work towards raising your hideout level, which gives you even more benefits. With the highlights totally including the fact that leftover scouts can give you free rewards at the end of a season. So first hideout resources, later crafting materials, and also even gear rewards. So then you don't have to actively use your scouts all the time or infiltrate a wealth area and put them on these stockpiles to still get rewards from the scouts. So as I told you before, a season changes after 2.5 in-game hours. You can trigger it manually in the menu after the time has passed or the next time you fast travel or switch character. So basically get into a loading screen, the season will automatically change. The developers told me that basically the game loop is that after a season changes, it's smart to go back to your hideout, upgrade some things with the new resources you got, maybe talk to some people, and then head back into the open world. And of course, the hideout will also look different depending on the season you are in, with many props you put down having a different look for winter versus spring, for example. Now, unlocking and upgrading the main building also raises your hideout rank, and there are 3 main buildings that I did not touch on yet. The study lets you recruit more scouts, the dojo enables upgrades for your allies, and last but certainly not least is the forge, which unlocks the blacksmith for in your settlement. We have a regular player level again, like in Origins and Odyssey, and when you loot gear or a weapon, it will be on the level you are on, but when you then increase your level, that item will of course not be useful. Then you'll have to upgrade it to your current level at the blacksmith. But here you can also dismantle gear for crafting resources, and by upgrading the forge you can unlock engravings to put an extra perk on any weapon or helmet. And trust me when I say there are a ton of these perks, and many are quite interesting too. I could already look at a lot of them. I want to really dive deep into this and of course have way more Shadows info and gameplay, so totally subscribe to not miss that. A like on the video would really help me out, and check out our recent video with good and bad news for the game. I will speak to you very soon. Goodbye.